Blake Lively, Part 6. What's really going on in her marriage to Ryan Reynolds. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. We consider and continue the examination of Blake Lively to ascertain what she is. Is she an empath? Is she normal? Is she narcissistic but not a narcissist, or is she indeed a narcissist? We turn now to the longest lasting relationship that she has had, her marriage with Ryan Reynolds. Now, there is an important consideration that we need to take into account in this, and, spoiler alert, if you have not already indulged yourself in my excellent analysis of Ryan Reynolds, why on earth haven't you? Press pause, go and watch that, come back, because I'm about to tell you something. That analysis ascertained that he is a narcissist, and we have to take that into account in our consideration of the relationship with Blake Lively, because it could explain certain of her behaviours. Now, Reynolds and Lively first met in 2010 when they filmed the movie adaptation of Green Lantern. Reynolds played the titular DC Comics superhero character, while Lively played his love interest, Carol Ferris. At the time, they were both seeing other people. Lively was dating her Gossip Girl co-star, Penn Badgley, and Reynolds was married to actress Scarlett Johansson. In October 2010, it was announced that Lively had split from Badgley, whom she'd been with since 2007. Reynolds and Johansson announced their divorce after 2 years of marriage in December 2010. Now, rumours have circulated that Reynolds and Lively actually had an on-set relationship. How true might that be? Well, given the fact that we have established that Reynolds is a narcissist, that would increase the risk that he would have an on-set affair, because Scarlett Johansson would be in devaluation, which means that the usual shackles and fetter on such misbehaviour would be off, allowing him to pursue somebody else. His absence of emotional empathy and sense of entitlement and lack of boundary recognition in transgressing the professional work boundary would result in him quite possibly engaging in such an affair. Furthermore, he wouldn't give a rat's ass about the fact that he was interfering in the relationship between Lively and Badgley. In respect of Lively, what does this mean? Well, either she is somebody who has been seduced by a narcissist, had her head turned. Quite possibly, if she has an addiction to the narcissist, it caused her, in effect, to take leave of her senses, so that she cheated on Badgley. Alternatively, even if she didn't have the addiction, it might be that her emotional empathy towards Badgley was reduced as a consequence of the involvement of the persistence of Reynolds, and therefore she conducted an affair. Or quite possibly, she was just as willing as Reynolds, because she similarly, as a narcissist, had placed Badgley in the sustained devaluation, meaning that once again she was not governed by the usual considerations which caused her to then behave in the way that she did by having an affair. Or alternatively, it is as they state that there was nothing going on. You can make your own minds up as to that, but it's something that we have to keep in mind. The duo maintained that their relationship commenced in 2011, and in June 2011, Reynolds and Lively hit the red carpet for Green Lantern together as co-stars. Then in October 2011, Lively and Reynolds sparked dating rumours when they were spotted outside an apartment in Boston where Reynolds was filming the action film R.I.P.D. At the time, a source then confirmed that they were very much a couple and they were very happy together. Accordingly, for some, the relationship began back in 2010. For others, it commenced in 2011, and it's all about telling everybody how happy and wonderful they are because they would be in maybe one, possibly two golden periods. One, it would be the golden period generated by Reynolds, sweeping Blake Lively off her feet. Two, they were both giving each other a golden period if she's a narcissist. A few months later, the two of them were spotted spending the holidays together in Reynolds' hometown of Vancouver. Reynolds said in 2016, "We were buddies for a long time, which I think is the best way to have a relationship, to start as friends." In fact, Sparks didn't fly until they went on a double date with other people. About a year after Green Lantern had come and gone and we were both single, we went on a double date. She was on a date with another guy and I was on a date with another girl. And it was like the most awkward date for the respective parties because we were just like fireworks coming across, Reynolds has said. This might be a fabrication generated by him to make it seem like they met later. Or, if it is accurate, it demonstrates an absence of emotional empathy, at least in that moment, on the part of both Reynolds and Lively, to making eyes at one another when they're meant to be on a date with somebody else. This behaviour, potentially, is a narcissist indicator in relation to Lively's behaviour. The two then end up marrying, and they got married on September the 9th, 2012, at Boone Hall Plantation in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. More about the plantation aspect later on. This marriage occurred within 1 to 2 years of meeting, dependent on when the timeline starts and which story is believed. And that is rather quick. It isn't as lightning quick as can be seen where some people marry within weeks or months of meeting. Nevertheless, marrying so soon does hint at a sense of entitlement. Now, having established what Reynolds is, was this simply him asserting prompt control over Lively as his intimate partner primary source victim, or was she just as keen to do so for her own needs to gain control and fuel, etc., and therefore both the requirements of two narcissists coincided? We need to keep this in mind in the analysis. By October the 6th, 2014, Lively and Reynolds reveal that they're expecting their first child, who's born later that year, and they reveal that on December the 16th. In April 2016, they reveal they're expecting their second child, and in September 2016, they welcomed that second child. When Reynolds got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in December 2016, he was joined by his wife and daughters, which marked their first ever public appearance as a family. On the 2nd of May 2019, Lively and Reynolds revealed they're expecting their third child, who arrived in October 2019. In March the 17th, 2022, Lively and Reynolds are announced as Met Gala co-chairs. And on May the 2nd, 2022, they attend the Met Gala together. September the 15th, 2022, Lively and Reynolds are expecting their fourth child, which is revealed. And in November the 17th, Lively praises Ryan Reynolds' dedication to their family, and she does so during a speech at the prestigious American Cinematic Awards. This man, he has contributed so much to the world's most international happiness with his art, his heart, his philanthropy, his humour, his integrity, his unmatched work ethic, his self-deprecating levity, his hard-earned depths in his scripts, she said. Praise indeed. Is this the praise of someone who is genuinely delighted with her husband? Well, one difficulty with that, of course, is we know that he's a narcissist, and therefore he will have engaged in devaluing behaviour towards her behind the scenes. He is one of the more sophisticated type of narcissists, as I've explained elsewhere. So for her to speak in such terms, might this just be the blind praise of a victim affected by emotional thinking, or is it simply another narcissist offering this praise in order to maintain a public image of an idyllic marriage? She also went on to say, where she praised him in relation to dedication to family life. And now I am his home, and our girls are his home. And just like that 19-year-old boy who used to commute home to Canada, he races home, whether it's from across the globe or a meeting across the street. He's hardwired to get home. If he came home from set, not in his wardrobe, we would be very concerned. Once again, we know that if this is accurate, Reynolds is only doing this for the purposes of assertion of control, and it's not genuine. But is Lively appreciative of this because she is the victim of a narcissist who doesn't see what he is, or is she once again just singing his praises in a public setting? Then, February the 12th, 2023, Lively reveals that she and Reynolds have now had their fourth child. And come 25th of July 2024, Taylor Swift lets everybody know that she's the godmother of Reynolds and Lively's children. You'll note the repeated announcements with regard to the children, the repeated sharing of this information. Is this simply a couple sharing the joyous news of their arrivals in the world, or is it the oversharing of information and a potential facade management? Social media. Social media is often seen as a bane on society. I've explained in separate videos about how it's utilised by narcissists, but also how it makes the world more narcissistic. Lively makes extensive use of an Instagram account. She has 44.8 million followers there. Her most recent post was back on the 13th of December 2024, and during December, November and October, she certainly appears to have backed away from social media, probably as a consequence of the filing of the lawsuits and all of the brouhaha surrounding Justin Baldoni, and it ends with us. Is this simple, sensible withdrawal as a consequence of not wanting to attract too much attention whilst dealing with a difficult situation? Or is it the withdrawal undertaken for the purpose of the assertion of control by a narcissist? Her posting frequency varies. For example, in August 2024, she posted 18 times, and the post related to It Ends With Us and her Blake Brown beauty. The previous month, in July 2024, she posted 22 times. The vast majority of her posts have her in the picture, sometimes with Reynolds, sometimes with other people, often to promote her products, often talking about what she's wearing and where she has been. This is narcissistic behavior, catering to the narcissistic traits of vanity, pride, and showcasing. She had a frequent need to show off about her lifestyle through her Instagram post, and were she a narcissist, she would garner fuel by virtue of the comments and the likes. It's quite clear that hitherto the fallout in relation to It Ends With Us, she made extensive use of social media, and that supports very much a narcissistic indicator of itself. It doesn't mean that she's a narcissist, but such extensive use of social media that always puts her at the centre of it does paint a particular narcissistic picture. For instance, she shares information that back on May the 1st in 2023, she skipped that year's Met Gala. Instead, she spent the night pumping breast milk in a bathroom, and she shared this information with followers on Instagram. Puts one in mind of the behaviour of that narcissist, Chrissy Teigen. In February 2022, for the 9th Valentine's Day as a married couple, she shared a sweet selfie of her and Ryan Reynolds writing, "Find me a better friend, love heart, I'll wait." Another aspect of her use of social media is the apparent trolling of Reynolds. For example, in a photo posted on Instagram, Reynolds posed next to a TV while his character was on the screen writing, "Has everyone seen the hashtag Deadpool trailer? Also, has anyone seen my wife?" Lively then responded the next day when she shared a snap in the same spot on her Instagram stories writing, "Honey, I'm home. My day was good. Yours." Another instance was when she made fun of Reynolds' lack of motorcycle skills. Reynolds shared an Instagram photo of a man riding a motorcycle without holding on, with the caption, "Don't try this at home," in May 2015. Lively then took him down a peg with a reply, "Because he already tried." Another instance was where Lively called John Legend the best man I know. Being recognised as one of Time's 100's most influential people should be an honour, but Legend stole Reynolds' thunder in April 2017. "Congratulations to the most influential person in my life," Lively teased on Instagram, "the best man I know. You deserve this. At Time 100 honour. If only my husband wasn't blocking you in this shot. I'm so sorry. At John Legend." There are many instances of this behaviour, of the mocking and of the taking down a peg or two that has gone on between both Reynolds and Lively. Is this simply playful banter between a couple, or is it actually devaluing behaviour, triangulating the other party, having a need to respond when he takes the piss by getting back at him because it threatens her need for control? It happens regularly and repeatedly. It might be part of this facade of, aren't we a fun couple? But might there be something more serious behind it? There's also the fact that their lives are often quite enmeshed with regard to the film world. Years after starring in Green Lantern together, Lively and Reynolds reunited on screen as the actress made a small cameo as Lady Pool in Deadpool and Wolverine. Though Lively never shows her face, she does have a brief speaking part and appears in the credits. One of the couple's daughters, Inez, is also credited with a cameo in the film. Furthermore, Reynolds makes a handful of references to Lively and her career throughout the film. At one point, he breaks the fourth wall by referencing Lively by name, and in another scene he makes a raunchy joke about her hit series Gossip Girl. What else has Lively had to say about Ryan Reynolds? Well, on August the 9th, 2024, she said that Reynolds helped her love her middle name, Ellender, by saying it sounds like lavender. In February 2024, during an appearance on Further Ado, the Substack series of her Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants co-star Amber Tamblyn, Lively explained that she and Reynolds created a rule to make sure they never got too busy to spend time together. When Ryan and I got together, we made a rule not to work at the same time, she explained, so that we could always prioritise our personal life. Back in February 2021, she shared on social media that she let Reynolds dye her hair during quarantine. In October 2017, Lively talked about what made her marriage work. My husband and I don't work at the same time, so we all go together as a family. If we're away as a family, it's never more than for a day. We stay together. Is this a lovely family ethic, or is it the necessity of asserting control over an intimate partner primary source by being repeatedly together, engaging in the narcissistic dynamic of the monopolization of time? In July 2016, Lively spoke about their close relationship by stating, "I knew he would always be my best friend for my whole life. That was the biggest thing to me. I'd never known anything like the friendship that I had with him. I could like him as much as I loved him." In September 2014, she mentions the idea of having kids with Reynolds. "He's my best friend. What do you do with your best friend? You do nothing. If I could spit out a litter of kids, I would." In September 2013, she said of her husband, "I'm very lucky to be with someone who has better taste than me. We influence each other in different ways, with film and television. You don't see the results for months. Building a home, you get immediate gratification." And there are other glowing quotes besides. Is this demonstrative of the fact that she truly does love Reynolds, and notwithstanding what undoubtedly will be some devaluing behaviour by him because we've established that he's a narcissist, that she remains beholden to him, that she's blinded perhaps by emotional thinking, unable to see what's truly going on, that her praise is genuine, that she doesn't realise that his behaviours are performative and in the pursuit of the prime aims? Or is this simply the slathering flattery of an infatuated individual driven by her own narcissism? There have not been any repeated or marked examples of her complaining about him or criticising him, other than the bants that goes on Instagram. Instead, the portrayal that she has is of a good, fun marriage, one that she's happy to regularly talk about in a positive light, possibly oversharing. Does this denote a genuinely happy marriage? Well, this is difficult to reconcile with Ryan Reynolds' status as a narcissist. Is it the case that she suffers in silence for the sake of her children and maintaining the enviable lifestyle that she has, and then puts a brave public face on it all? Or does the union actually serve a purpose for her regarding her own prime aims, and what the public is shown through these repeated use of social media and quotes given in interviews, etc., simply the product of a narcissistic cementation and facade management? The evidence is stacking up, and you'll be forming your own views as we now turn in part 7 towards the examination of Lively's behaviours over the years towards other people, to ascertain what this tells us. Join me there.